Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for the delay. It feels like a lifetime, but relax. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The Believe You Me podcast with myself, Michael Bisping, and of course, Anthony Lionheart Smith. Anthony, tell me, you miss me. Be honest.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I've been getting accustomed to these Mondays. And all week long, what happens is I try to bank all this shit in my head, like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this with Michael. But I didn't have it. I had a whole week without you being able to offload all my bullshit. So I'm happy. And I think that the viewers are happy and the listeners, because they're a little pissed off at us.
Oh, I know. I've been walking around London and very kindly people have been stopping me. And one of the first things they say is, wow, I love the podcast with you and Anthony Smith, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I couldn't do last week. I wanted to. I tried. I flew in last Friday to England, just quickly recap and let you know. So I've got here, I'm doing this documentary, which comes out today, by the way, or tomorrow in the States. So Tuesday in the States, video on demand, iTunes, Amazon Prime, all that good stuff. What was I saying? Yeah. Anyway, jet lag's a bitch. Put it like that. So Saturday night, we're like, okay, we went to bed about 7 p.m. And we're like, it was about 7, 8 p.m. By the time Rebecca got ready for bed and all the rest of it, probably we fell asleep at 9 o'clock. Didn't set an alarm because it's 9 o'clock at night by the time we fell asleep. So we'll be up at the crack of dawn. Do you know what I mean? We'll get up early, we'll go for an early breakfast. We'll have a nice walk. We're going to do this. We slept for 15 hours straight. You know what I mean? She woke me and said, Michael, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, holy fuck. So that day was a write-off. Then Sunday night, I was exhausted. Monday was the premiere of the documentary. That was super busy. And then it was non-stop. So apologies all. It was my fault, not Mr. Smith's, but there you go. It is what it fucking is, guys. Deal with it.
It's a hard life being Michael Bisping. Everybody wants a piece of Michael.
Stop.
Anthony, this is your first time facing the wrath of the believers, correct?
It is. And I'm really nervous, okay? To be honest with you. This is what's been bothering me all weekend. So the fights happen, right? I've got this huge UK following now. Like I've always done pretty well in Europe, and people are always super happy. I think they just enjoy my fight style. I think they enjoy my personality. I'm real, and I think that the European people appreciate that. So it's been going great. Get all these people from the UK loving me from being on the podcast now. And then Paul Craig calls me out in a fight. I'm like, oh, listen, I would love to fight Paul Craig, but now I feel like now they're going to be picking sides, and they're
going to pick sides of a Paul Craig, right?
I know.
But let's save that. Save that. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Don't you worry about that, Mr. Steve. We're going to talk about that.
But I was feeling so good about myself because they were so. All the messages and the comments, people were like, what, are we just going to pretend like this shit isn't going on anymore? Like, we need this episode. So I was feeling loved. Like, people in the UK love me. And so, again, we'll talk about it later, but now I'm upset.
They're probably going to hate you soon.
I know.
That's how they go. Well, hey, it's a roller coaster of emotions. Fuck me. I was loved. I was hated. I was despised. I was even more hated than despised. I don't know what word I would use for that. I was like, if it was a graph, the hatred was going down, 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 down. And then all of a sudden I was loved a bit. And then I was down a bit and then up a bit. That's how it goes. They're fickle little motherfuckers. So yeah, let me see. So obviously I had a lot of obligations last week. I was so busy, man. So busy. And then I had the UFC obligations. As soon as that finished, then I started with the UFC. And I lost my voice completely. And when I say I lost my voice, I was talking like this. I had no voice at all. Because I'd just been doing this. Yap. Granted, Wednesday night, I had a few drinks, right? We had a little screening in London, but nothing crazy. And I think after having a monumental workload, are you allowed to have a few drinks and celebrate the finishing of our products? Of course you are. But I lost my voice. I mean, to be fair, I do talk a lot. When I've had a drink, I talk louder and more and faster, and it makes less sense. And that's why I lost it. But then I walked into the fighter meetings, right, with Zach to commentate, and I had no voice, and everyone, you could see, and everyone was concerned as fuck. But when I finished the fighter meters, I had to do something for BT Sport. And then that was Thursday. Friday morning, I had to do a 2-hour-long weigh-in show for BT Sport. And the voice was just getting worse and worse. I had to walk off the weigh-in show halfway through it. And on the Friday, I was supposed to host a Q&A with Darren Till at the weigh-ins and then host the ceremonial weigh-ins as well. I'm like, to the UFC, I'm like, I want to do this. I've been looking forward to it. But if I do this, I'm not going to be able to commentate tomorrow because I have no voice. And then I'm like, and then if I can't do that, I'm probably going to get fired. This fucking guy is unreliable. So do you ever lose your voice, Anthony?
No, I never really do. I did. The only time I can really remember losing my voice, obviously, it's when that guy broke into my house. But I was screaming at the top of my lungs for 6 or 7 minutes straight, and I just did a bunch of damage to my throat. And I was kind of similar thing. I had a fight coming up, but I had like one more analyst gig to do, and it was like the next weekend, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have any voice for like a week. Like when I told the story to Ariel, I could barely talk because I was just sounded exactly the same. Yeah, but that's the only time I can think about. I can remember losing.
No, I had the worst anxiety though, because listen, cheers, buddy. Cheers. Mm-hmm. No, it's UFC London. I'm dying to do it. Do you know, I'm dying to step into that.
The Q&A would have been fun too.
Would have been fucking awesome with Darren Till. Would have been great.
Yeah.
So I was having extreme anxiety. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to do the show, right? They're going to fucking like question whether or not I'm dependable and reliable. Well, that wasn't the case. I literally was talking a lot. Fortunately, Dana showed up. And he couldn't talk either. He was like the same. I'm like, okay, so if they kick back and say, look at fucking Dana. Dana can't talk either. There's something going around. But so then what I did was, and I felt like an ignorant bastard to my dad and to tons of people were hitting me up in London. Mike. I wouldn't even pick up the phone. For 2 days, I locked myself in my hotel room. I got 2 humidifiers. I sent my wife to a health food store. She got like these voice tea bags. We got ginger, lemon, honey, you fucking name it. And it was the most boring time of my wife's life. We sat in this hotel room. It wasn't a nice hotel room. Right? I didn't talk, apart from every now and again just going, yeah, no. That was it. And then I woke up day of the fight at 4:00 in the morning, needing a piss because a man could only drink so much fucking honey and lemon. You know what I mean? And I needed a pee. And I tested my voice in the middle of the night. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was like, oh, fuck, I still haven't got a voice. But it came back just in time. I tell you, but it was touch and go for a while. All right. So anyway, that's why we didn't do an episode last week. But we are back without fail. We're going to stay back. Anthony, what's going on in your life before we get into that epic UFC London card at the weekend?
Nothing. You know, my kids are kind of in between sports right now, and I didn't have anything. Obviously, the event was in London, so I wasn't working that one. And I only had like one weekend off in like the last 8 or 9 weeks, so it was felt weird. I didn't do anything all weekend. I sat around. I got my Razor, my side-by-side vehicle, so I got that in the garage working on that. I rode the Harley around a little bit.
Hold on. The Razor. What is that? I've seen these online, right? They're like a little buggy type thing.
Yeah. So we all have. So I got one. My wife's got one. My kids have one. And so we just, we ride trails and go all these crazy places. So honestly, one of my friends said we should do some content for the YouTube channel and make it like Michael Bisping firsts. So like, we'll take you out and we'll go ride razors and do some like it was actually off of the Darren Till Chimaev story with you in the car.
Yeah.
Because they said if Michael was freaking out that bad in the car, how bad do you think you could get him freaking out in your razor? And I was like, I'd probably Michael would want to get out for sure. So there was
whoa.
There was the hunting thing. So like you said you wanted to come hunt. So like,
I do.
We'll go ride the razors. We'll go just do a bunch of crazy shit that like you've never done before, and just get you redneck.
We'll bring Harrington and Brian. We'll film everything.
Yeah,
we'll get it all captured. I'm down for that. And can I bring my son Lucas though? Because he would love that.
Oh, for sure. That'd be a blast.
Yeah,
I think I think they'd enjoy to see that.
Oh, 100%. If you don't mind me asking, how much do those razors cost?
It depends. I mean, you can get older.
Because if you've got 4, I'm fucking getting at least 1. Because when you said you and your son or you and your wife have them and the children have them, I'm like, where do you need?
I was probably 21 or 22 grand. brand new.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So not
So
bad
not
then.
terrible. No.
And do you need the wild vastness to ride that?
You need a little bit of space. Yeah. Yeah. So like, I think
Oh,
our next trip, we're going to the Black Hills in South Dakota. They have like 6,000 miles of trails, and you can get them. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. We go a couple times every year.
See,
We can get them plated in South Dakota, and you can ride them on the like city roads and highways. You can't ride it on the interstate, but like, so I have a license plate. We go camping, we hang out at the campgrounds, and then you just jump in and you just cruise up into the Black Hills. It's great.
See, this is the type of shit my son wants to do. He's obsessed with all this type of stuff, outdoorsy stuff. The reality is, though, Anthony, you're a real man. I'm not. Do you know what I mean?
Well, some of it's geographical. You know, there's not a lot
it is, but like, you just do cool shit, like real manly stuff. You fight off fucking would-be attackers in the night. When my house, when I had someone come, I screamed and called the police like a little girl. Do you know what I mean? Don't tell anyone. Edit this bit out, Brian. But fuck me, I am a shameful human being. No, that's the type of stuff my son wants to do, and I'm just like, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying my best. I took him fishing. We've never caught a fucking fish. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can't even get a hook on the end of the rope. My son learned the knots, the fisherman's knot, real quick. But I just suck. Okay,
well, let's just do it.
I'm good at one thing: fighting and talking. Everything else, I'm shit.
And Rebecca could hang out with Michaela if she wanted to. She could ride shotgun with her through the trails. We could. The whole thing would be fun. Come out for a week, bring Lucas. It'll be a blast.
I can't wait. We're doing it. All right, 100%. We'll lock it in. Well, that sounds great. All right, guys, just want to tell you about True Bill. Listen, you know how it is. Sign up to things, you subscribe to things, you start paying a little few bucks here and there, but then you forget about it. You don't want to be a part of it anymore. But guess what? You still get charged. And if you look at your bank account, you get a charge every single month and you forget about it. But those little amounts, they add up. On average, people, by using Truebill to cancel all those subscriptions that they don't want, they don't need, or they just simply forgot about, they're saving up to $720 a year because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel. Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Link your accounts, and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in just one tap. And Truebill Concierge is there when you need them to cancel the unwanted subscriptions so that you don't have to. Listen, we've all been there. We've all been there. There's many, many, many. Go to Truebill. We have a great deal for you. Go to truebill.com/believe, right? And they're going to make it easy. Like Matthew B, who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my direct TV bill. I saved $120 for the year on my Sirius XM bill and $840 a year on my car insurance. Truebill has over 2 million users and helped them save over $100 million. So if you want to take advantage of this, then it's very simple. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/believe. Go right now, truebill.com/believe. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/believe. Should we get into some of this UFC stuff? Because it was an epic card and we have a lot to talk about. Oh my God. Where do we start? Did you watch the whole card?
I think so. I don't think I missed any.
Did you see that Muhammad Makaev?
I watched the main card, then went back and watched the prelims. But Makaev, yeah, god damn, that guy's.
I tell you what. Just for in terms of the YouTube and keeping the audience retained, let's start with the main event. That's always sexier. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
The main event. It's the main event for a reason. Let's start at the top and work our way down to the first fight of the fucking night. Right. Everyone's like, why is he starting with the first fight of the night? Well, we're going in, time order. But still, Tom Aspinall, give me your thoughts, Anthony.
Tom Frank Mir Aspinall. First of all, that guy just screams Frank Mir to me. I don't know why, but I don't know. I've never seen anyone else say that, but that's what I see. But that dude's the real deal. His boxing was the one thing that stood out. Kind of already knew that his jiu-jitsu was good. They talked about his dad being one of the first black belts, self-taught jiu-jitsu apparently, which I think is amazing. So I was expecting him to really dominate on the ground and be wrestling heavy, but man, his boxing looked really good. He was really clean in the pocket. He got power in his hands. You don't really see Volkov get smoked by anybody. Volkov was in there with Cyril Gahn. He was ahead on Derek Lewis till the very last second. He was hung with Jairzinho Rosenstrike. Like, he doesn't get blown out by anybody, and he got smoked.
He's had over 40 professional fights. He's only been finished 3 times. He's beaten former world champions like Fabrizio Verdum, as you say, when almost had Derek Lewis beat until the final seconds. Been in there with Cyril Gahn. He's been in there, with some of the best people. And normally, if he does lose, which a lot of the time he doesn't, but if he does, he's hard to finish. Even because you know how it is throughout the timing of the UFC. It's going long, going short. We're like, oh, what time do you think we'll get out of here? We're talking about transport back and stuff. And we're like, the main event depends if it goes long or short. It's because obviously it's 5 rounds. And they're like, yeah, but Volkov's hard to finish. I doubt we'll see a finish. I don't know who's going to win, but I doubt we'll see a finish. And of course, Tom Aspinall just went out there. And it's fair to say he fucking destroyed him. He absolutely destroyed him from start to finish in every way possible, dominated in every position. The speed, when we did the fighter meetings, Volkov was concerned about the speed, and rightly so, because he looked fast as lightning with the hands. The timing on the double leg entries was phenomenal.
Perfect.
Put him down with authority. The body locks, the doubles, absolutely perfect. The jiu-jitsu obviously got a submission in the first round. The ground and pound was clinical. He was so calm and composed. He's a big man, and he's still very, very young. I mean,
he blended so well too. Like, you couldn't usually, especially at heavyweights, they're either striking or they're grappling. That's they're striking or they're wrestling. They're striking or they're fence wrestling, on the cage. You didn't know what he was doing. Like, he just blended from striking to grappling. Like, he was so dominant on his feet, but he was still mixing the takedowns every once in a while. It looked like Volkov didn't even deserve to be in there with him. And it's crazy to say that about a guy like Volkov.
Yeah. No, it really is, because he's so experienced, as we said. And I said to Tom on the post-fight show, because I had a post-fight show and I had a BT Sport post-fight show. I'm not complaining, making those dollars, baby. But still, the voice was strained. I said to him, what happens if you fight Ngannou right now? Because I said, you're not far away. And he's so humble. He's like, well, Ngannou's a very dangerous man. I still need to get some more experience. And I'm like, I don't think you do, bud. I don't think
so.
I'm not saying right here, right now, that he beats Francis Ngannou. I'm saying there's a really good fucking chance he beats Francis Ngannou. If it stays on the feet, Ngannou, we know. I don't even need to finish the sentence. I don't even need to finish that. He is extremely dangerous, but the well-roundedness of him, I think, just sets him apart from everyone else. Because he was out there in Holland sparring with Rico van Hooven, who's one of the best kickboxers on the planet. He sparred many, many months and many rounds with Tyson Fury. Apparently, word on the street is that he does very, very well. We had Anthony Joshua in the crowd. He was front row with who's the other guy? Another boxer, heavyweight. I forget his name right now. It'll come to me in a minute. Tom could go into boxing and dominate there as well. It's unbelievable how talented he is, but he's so humble. He's just such a nice, normal, level-headed guy. And I think being around some of the Scousers that are very cocky, that we're going to get to in a little bit, which are entertaining as fuck, I think it rubbed off on him a little bit, because he wasn't brash, but he was quietly confident. But he's got every goddamn right to be.
Yeah. I really liked his attitude, man. I liked how he was on the post show. He's a little bit funny, he's a little bit he comes off very blue collar, hardworking, beer drinking, nice guy that you could just hang out with. But fuck, you watch him fight, like you said with the Ngannou thing, like that guy could be. He's competitive right now. He's a different type of heavyweight, man, and that's where the fucking division's going, though. It isn't just the no disrespect, but it's not the Roy Nelsons anymore. It's not the Mark Hunts, the big guys. They're just big hitters that you just got to stay away from. Like that dude's dangerous everywhere.
Well,
and he moves like a fucking welterweight too. He was
he does.
Fast.
He's so fast. When is the last time? And I'm trying to think. Of course, there's great fighters in the heavyweight division. Well, when? Maybe DC. My question is, when's the last time we had someone so well-rounded, so polished in all areas, including athletic ability, speed, agile, reflexes, calmness, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking? Do you know what I mean? He is the 21st century version, or a 2022 version of what an MMA fighter should look like. I don't know if we've ever had that kind of threat in the heavyweight division. I don't know if we have.
I don't think so. Not at his level of athleticism and speed. Like, I would say Cain was close. Like, he was a good striker. Obviously,
good one.
Fantastic wrestler. I think Cain was a better striker than DC. DC was. I think Cain was more technical. DC was probably more effective in a lot of ways because his wrestling was so dangerous because he was so willing to just close the distance and just get into the wrestling and clinch exchanges. But I think, like when Cain hit that combination on Nogueira and put him down, it was one of the cleanest boxing combinations I've ever seen. So I think Cain was more technical.
I fought on that card.
Did you really? Who'd you fight?
I don't know. So many fights. So long ago. So much time. A lot of punches in the head. Hold on. I want to say it was either Vanderlei Silva. Might have been Vanderlei. I think it was Vanderlei Silva. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, but I got robbed. I fucking beat that guy in a decision, but whatever. They gave it to him. But I remember I was backstage and I saw that comment, boom, 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 and I was like, holy shit. That was unbelievable.
But he's not the type of athlete with speed and mobility and as nimble as Aspinall is.
Talking of which, though, before we move on from said Cain Velasquez, show the shirt, buddy. Show the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Free Cain Velasquez. Let's go.
Velasquez, right there.
There it is. Support. Sure. I've ordered 2. Got them on the way. I've been on the road,
Oh, yeah.
But we all send our support on behalf of everyone at the Believe You Me podcast, of course. Tom Aspinall. I mean, I just messaged him before trying to get him on the show, and his response was, and this was literally we went for dinner, my wife and I, just walking back to the hotel 30 minutes ago. I'm like, mate, no pressure, blah, 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 but we're going to be talking about it. Any chance you could jump on? I said, Jesus, mate, not much notice. I can't tonight, mate. I've got friends over. I said, no, of course. Yeah, no pressure.
Party your ass off. Yeah,
party. You fucking last thing you want to do a couple of days after a big win like that is talk to us. I get it, or more importantly, talk to fucking me.
Oh, it's been a whole week of bullshit too. Just I get it. So congratulations, to him. Super impressed.
Oh man, how can you not be? All right, real quick, we're going to talk to you about Novo.co. What is that? Well, I'm going to tell you. Fortune favors the bold, the strong, the brave, and for your business to break out of anything holding you back, you need business checking as brave as you are. Introducing Novo Business Checking. Novo is a powerfully simple business checking, and unlike the traditional banking model, Novo has no minimum balances, no transaction limits, and no hidden fees. We're talking banks here, ladies and gentlemen. And instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, Novo is customized to your business to save you time and free up cash flow with seamless integrations to Stripe, Shopify, QuickBooks Online, and more. If you have a business, sign up for Novo for free and join the community of over 150,000 fearless small businesses who have found the customizable business checking solution that admires their brave. Listen, if you have a small business, this is what you want to do. You're going to save a ton of money. You're going to save time. You can submit your application in just under 10 minutes. The FDIC insured through Middlesex Federal Savings FA. Easy transfers with free ACH transfers, mail checks, and income wires, and no hidden fees, which means you're never going to be surprised ever again. Sign up for free for your business by going to right now, novo.co, novo.co/believe. Plus, believe you me, listeners will now get access to over $5,000 in perks and discounts. Go to novo.co/believe to sign up for free. Novo.co/believe. Novo Platform Incorporated is a fintech, not a bank. Bank services provided by Middlesex Federal Savings, FA members, FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Novo.co/believe. Check it out. Save some cash. Where were we? All right. So, co-main event, Arnold Allen, Dan Hooker. Lots to talk about.
Shit.
Before we talk about how amazing Arnold Allen was, where do we think Dan Hooker is now? And I'm not sure how openly you want to be. I don't know. I know we don't want to offend people on it. I have tremendous respect for Dan Hooker, but he's lost 4 out of his last 5. I think because he went up to 55, he was 45, then he went up to 55. Now he's back to 45. He said that's my natural weight class. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Maybe he's trying to find a spot where he can win some fights and stuff like that. I know Arnold Allen was saying at the meetings, he's just trying to come down thinking that there's easy opponents here. And, maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. But he's struggled lately. And the only reason I'm saying this, and I'm struggling to find the right words, because the last thing I want to do is disrespect someone, because that's not what I'm intending to do. I respect everyone that steps in there, and certainly Dan Hooker's a fucking warrior. and he's very good. He's a very, very good fighter. But he's jumping in last minute. He's taking these fights, risky opponents. It's almost like when a fighter starts doing that, it can be dangerous territory. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're truly, and again, I hope this doesn't sound bad. If you're truly trying to find, the path to becoming a world champion, you've got to be calculated and take fights at the right time. You can't be last minute Larry, although that gets a lot of props, which he does. And he shows a lot of skill, bravery, courage, balls, cojones. What's another one?
I don't know, but none of those things pay your bills.
Well, they don't. No, you're right. You're right.
And that's the problem. Dan Hooker is the perfect example to me of a guy who's a home run hitter. And it's
testicular fortitude.
He's got a lot of that. He's got a lot of that.
Testicular fortitude. What else we got? Go on. Sorry, Andy.
No, you're good. I'm on the same page as you. Like, I feel like I need to very much tiptoe around this because I don't want Dan Hooker to catch one whiff of this episode and
he deserves all the respect in the world.
I don't want it to come off like I'm trying to come down on him or I'm trying to criticize him or because I'm not. If I could offer maybe a different approach or a different way to maybe look at his career, I guess that's more what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
And I've done this before where you have a couple slip ups and you stub your toe a couple times and you end up taking a loss or a couple losses. And in your head, you see the next opponent and you're like, okay, I'm just going to find the baddest, toughest dude that's available. And if I beat that guy, everything else goes away. Everyone forgets about the other shit. I'm back.
And it's true. It's true.
And it is true. But it's so hard to beat some of those guys when you're not. You can sound confident. You can say the right things in interviews. You can tell yourself all the right things when you're laying in bed at night. But if you don't have momentum behind you and you're not in a right place mentally, you're going to have a tough time beating any of these guys. And you can always chalk it up as, I got caught or I got clipped or I slipped or that guy's just that good or whatever. If Dan Hooker just took a couple steps back, and I'm not saying take easy fights or take layups or take warm-up fights, but just back yourself down a little bit, and it puts you in a precarious situation. You start fighting guys behind you in the rankings of ways. It's super dangerous because you start losing to those guys. Now we got a big fucking problem. But you give some of those guys opportunities to bring themselves up in the division while also putting yourself in a position where you fight a guy like Makhachev, you need to have a solid game plan and you need to execute that thing picture fucking perfect every time or you're not going to beat him. You get a guy like Arnold Allen, same thing. You got to be perfect when you fight that guy. Michael Chandler, same thing. You got to be perfect. You back off a little bit. You give some of these younger up-and-comers that are maybe a little ways down in the rankings, you have a little bit more wiggle room where you can just go in and fight and react and then figure it out as you go. And you get your swag back a little bit. You get your flow and you're getting your zone. There's a lot to be said about that. In
boxing, it's called a comeback fight. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with having a comeback fight. And again, we're not shitting on Dan Hooker. As I said, we've both got tremendous respect. And I think it's not a UFC thing. It's a mixed martial arts thing. And it's maybe, if a quote unquote, a cage fighter thing. You know what I mean? We are so quick and so willing and so ready to jump in there with the toughest guy. Whereas in boxing, if you lose a big fight, then you take some time off, you regroup, you come back, and you go down the pecking order a little bit, and you get your mojo, you get your momentum, you build your confidence, you find your stride, and then you start taking those big fights again. Obviously that's the beauty of the UFC because you find the best fucking guys on the planet. So good luck with that. Do you know what I mean? You want to be in the UFC.
Easy ones, but
there you go. Yes. But and again, I admire Dan. I do, and I love the attitude. I love it. I'm saying if I was his manager, maybe take a little time off because he's still got a lot to give. But we need to talk about Arnold Allen because he's now on a 9-fight win streak, and holy shit, was he impressive! Because at the fighting meetings, I said to him, how do you beat him? And he was talking forward pressure, pin him up against the fence, look for takedowns, blah, 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 and he just went out there and swung like a goddamn machine, and it was sensational. I mean, what a performance.
Some of these, I think a lot of that stuff is credited to the crowd. Arnold Allen is usually he's a little bit of a I wouldn't say a wild card, but sometimes he just shuts his brain off and just lets it go. But the crowd really had those UK fighters just going ballistic when they went in there. And
best crowds on the planet. I'm biased, but I'll say it.
I wasn't expecting that kind of aggressiveness with a guy like Dan Hooker. I just didn't think Arnold Allen would go, especially I thought Arnold Allen in my breakdown has a pretty significant advantage on the ground. So I was like, he's going to be safe on his feet, work his way into a takedown, and if he's going to win, that's how he does it. Because that's the smart move. That's the least dangerous one. And he said, fuck that. And just, I don't know if I've ever seen him that aggressive. Even after he got hurt, he got clipped and went down himself, came back. He was swinging punches from his knees on his way back up. It was goddamn amazing. I mean, he just overwhelmed Dan Hooker, which you don't really see happen a lot on his feet.
No. And the output was ridiculous. What is this, Brian? You said I have a video of Dana's statement from the presser on Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Hooker.
Yeah,
Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it said Don. My eyes are bad, as we know. Not known for my vision. No. What I want to talk about, fucking Arnold Allen. I think he's great. I did nothing but sing his praises. I was swinging off his dick all week as he walked into the cage. I said so many nice things. And I know he's only busting my balls, by the way. At the post-fight press conference, I don't know what it was in reference to, but he said Bisping was eating a chip butty at the side of the octagon. Chip butty, it means basically fries on bread. That's a chip butty. Bisping was eating a chip butty at the side of the octagon, and a bit of butter fell on the canvas, and I slipped on it. and I don't think Bisping wants another British champion. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't wait for another British champion. It's lovely to see, and I know he's only busting my balls. I hope he's busting my balls, because I certainly wasn't eating a fucking chip butty at the side of the octagon. Sounds delicious, though. Yeah, man, he was incredible. Called out Kelvin Cater. I think that's great. I think for Arnold, because he was 8-0. 8-0 in the UFC. But he's still not a fan favorite. He's still not a household name in mixed martial arts. Typically, you go on an 8-5 win streak, everybody knows your name. I mean, look at people like Islam Makhachev. You know what I'm saying? He needed to make a statement, but Saturday night, I mean, that was just incredible. That was incredible. We'll move on, though, because we have got one certain Paddy the Baddie to talk to. I'll let you take the lead on this one, my friend.
Paddy the Baddie. I can't get, number one, I love Paddy the Baddie. I think his attitude, his interviews, his Scouser accent, his everything about him, I like. I just can't figure out why he is so fucking popular so quickly. I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. It was like when he got signed, he hadn't even fought yet in the UFC, and I think the UFC brought him to, or maybe he had one fight. UFC brought him to do some like appearance or something, and I was there. It was like, he was meeting fans. He got the biggest pop when he walked into the arena, bigger than any person that fought on the card. It's just sometimes you have those one guys that they just have it. Whatever it is, they have it, and Paddy's absolutely got it. But the way
I am listening. I'm just forwarding a video on this to Brian so we can play it on here, because I got sent a video of outside the O2 arena, and it's goddamn wild. So I'm not ignoring you.
It's crazy. He is so popular. The way he fights, though, does make me a little nervous. The Scousers can't get knocked out mentality, although it's very
they can
machismo. I mean, it's possible, and I don't know how long that style is going to last. But god damn it, he's doing everything right, man. He's perfect in the media. He's perfect in the octagon so far. He's got he came back from adversity a little bit too. Like he kind of got put in some bad spots and got his momentum slowed down a little bit and worked his way back to his feet and ended up getting that choke. I mean, it's tough to do when you're young. You got all that pressure on your shoulders. You've talked all the shit in the world.
All the shit.
All the shit.
And getting into he had a punch up with Ilia Topuria.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that. He was having scuffles there. He was arguing with everybody, like a certain Conor McGregor. Do you know what I mean? And there is parallels you can draw on how popular and the kind of impact on the sport that Conor made so quickly, so fast, and such a following to what Paddy has. And I'm not necessarily saying that he's going to be the next Conor McGregor, but he has the potential for that. I was trying to send the video. I can't do it there. It's outside the O2 Arena, and it's literally hundreds of people all dancing in the car parks, all chanting, "Oh, Paddy the Baddy," and there's a cop car.
He's got his own goddamn song.
And oh, that's what is that song? Do 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 do. What is that song? We're going to Wichita.
White Stripes.
Salvation Army.
White Stripes.
Hold us back.
Yeah.
Come on, Anthony.
I don't know the words, but I know what you're talking about.
You're from Wichita.
No, I'm not from Omaha. Remember?
Same shit, bro.
Close.
You get hurricanes. Let me see. This ain't no Dorothy. You ain't in Kansas, Dorothy. I don't know what I'm saying right now. No, they're all outside and they're all chanting Paddy the Baddy, and they all jump on these cars, and then more and more people are getting on the cars, and the roofs are all dinted in, and they're all jumping. And it's fucking wild. I was trying to send it, but it's on a direct message.
You know what he's got that Conor had? So today, they have this program at my kid's school called Watchdogs. It's like where dads go into the school for the entire day, and they essentially like you work, like you just hang out at the school all day. You help them with different classes. You go to recess. You get whatever. It's just a thing that dads kind of like a little club that you get into, and dads just help out at the schools.
See, look, I'm not a member of any clubs.
You're
going camping. You're going hunting. You got the razors. You're a member of boy clubs at the school.
Kids. Yeah, clean up after snot-nosed kids at lunch. Sidebar, and then I'll move on. I've never been threatened with more physical violence than at recess in my kid's school. You would think that, like, because of what I do for a living, like, the kids would be intimidated. No, they all want to fight. I've never had so many kids want to fight me in one day. First grade, fourth grade. I was with the first graders today and the fourth graders today. So, anyways,
cheeky little backhand. That's what it says. Yeah. Listen, guys.
Well, the teachers out there, I just can't do that in front of teachers. But anyway,
I guess it's frowned upon in this day and age.
My oldest teacher, he's a fight fan. He watches the fights, and he brings up Paddy the Baddy. This man has never talked to me about a fighter other than myself the entire time that he's been my kid's teacher. He's asked, like, hey, when you got a fight coming up? Oh, I happen to catch you on ESPN working the desk or whatever, but he's never brought up another fighter the entire time. And he brings up Paddy the Baddy. So, like, that's kind of like my gauge. Like, oh, this guy's like definitely different. Like, other people are noticing too. And he says,
on a side note, how many first graders do you think you could beat up at one time?
All of them.
That's what I said.
All of them. Yeah, there's not enough of them.
All of them. I will fuck some first graders up.
The whole grade at the same time.
I hope they try that with me. Let's test it. Come on. I'm back, baby. Right. I'm back.
So he asked me about Paddy the Baddy. And he said, what makes him different? He was like, because I'm getting Conor McGregor vibes from him. And this was my answer. Paddy has a delusional belief in himself, just like Conor. There is no reason he should believe that he's that good. And there's no reason that Conor should have believed that he was that good or that he could do what he could do.
I don't know. Conor was like incredible on the feet, and he's still good. But he's missed a step. Paddy it doesn't have that, but he's got more well-rounded capabilities.
Right. But there's no reason he
is delusional. He is delusional in how good that he is, but he's backing it up.
But it works. I think sometimes you got to be a little bit. You got to believe it. You got to be a little bit crazy, and you got to believe it more than you're actually able to. Like, one
might say it's the law of attraction. Another person might say it's the secret. A wise samurai once said, you have to conceive, believe, and achieve. Do you know what I mean? But believe it or not, like, even though I fucking mocked Luke on that one, there is a point to that. Do you know what I mean? You have to carry yourself in a certain way. You have to believe it. If you're not going to believe in yourself, then who the fuck else is going to believe in you? Do you know what I mean? And you have to have that confidence.
Almost be a weapon.
Like, of course it can. And it breaks people down. It breaks their spirit. When they see how confident you are, they think, fuck, he's this confident for a reason.
Yeah. Like, what does he know that I don't know? Like, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? And I think that's it. I think Conor weaponized his delusional belief in himself. I think he believed in himself so much that it became like an actual weapon. And I think Paddy has some of that.
Well, it's like that. in a lot of walks of life, not just in the cage. Certain things you got to carry yourself like you're already there, like you've already made it. Do you know what I mean? Believe it in your mind and just will it into existence. Now, of course, it's not as simple as that, but that's going to be the first point before you start working on any other stuff. But hey, listen, Kazula Vargas clipped him again, got him down. He obviously never did his homework. Paddy's a great grappler. You know, he's got wins by flying triangle. He's a solid BJJ black belt. He's got good jiu-jitsu. The weak area, if you would call it a weak area, would be on the feet. It's not weak. I'm just saying he's better on the ground than what he is on the feet. He's proved to be very effective on the feet. But Kazula Vargas can bang. He can bang. But I think, again, as you say, you know, he weaponizes his self-belief, and that kind of gets in the mind of Vargas, and he's trying to fucking grapple a BJJ black belt. Do you know what I'm saying? And that was just not the best approach. And of course, you know, it didn't look good for a minute for Paddy, but now you start, it's how you finish. And Paddy turned it around and dominated. As soon as he got top position, it was over. We knew it was.
Yeah, it was done.
It was done. It was done. All right. We spoke about it already. New sponsor, Alert Chicken Skin Snacks. Listen. We want a snack. We want something delicious, nutritious, healthy, but come on, something that tastes good. Chicken skin is awesome, and it's an excellent way to satisfy your crunch snack craving, and is a perfect alternative to the carb-heavy snacks such as chips, popcorn, and it has 0 carbs per serving. Listen, come on. You want a snack? You don't want carbs. You want to get slim, you know, but you want to eat. You want to treat, but you don't want to turn into a fat bastard. That's where chicken skin comes in very, very handy. And of course, 8 amazing flavors: original, salt and vinegar, buffalo wing, chili lime, the Thai flavor, salt and pepper, Jamaican check right about now. And they got the clucking heart. Oh, of course. Come on, chicken skin. They got a cheese. They got every flavor you goddamn want. I mean, they got 8, but still, come on. If you need more than that, what are you doing with your life? Go to chickenskin.com. And when I say chickenskin.com, I mean CHICKNSKIN.com. Chickenskin.com. It's a snack. It's delicious. There's 0 carbs. Okay, you're not going to be fat. You're not going to get a heart attack. You're going to get lean, mean, and you're going to have a big smile on your face. Chickenskin.com. Use the promo code BELIEVE. CHICKN skin.com. Chickenskin.com. Promo code BELIEVE. 20% off your order. BELIEVE 20 for 20% off your order at chickenskin.com. Enjoy. Let me ask you a question, because I got these staring me right in the face. We're just going to go off MMA for a second.
Okay.
Do you have a sweet tooth, Anthony?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I love chocolate, but when I come back to England, they have better chocolate here. I'm just throwing
Do
it
they?
out there. Oh my God. And
Okay,
Brian and Harrington, if you guys disagree, you can see. I walk into gas stations or whatever. I'm not tempted by any of the chocolate, you know, because I don't know any of it. I don't have an emotional attachment to it from when I was a kid. But I walk into an off license here. I thought I'll get a bottle of wine when we do the show, a little nightcap, and I walk out with 4 chocolate bars. Right? we got a Yorkie, we got a Boost. They were one of my personal favorites. We got a Crunchy, they're delicious, and a Flake. Ooh.
Oh man.
Yo, you ever get a 99?
Ice cream?
Mm-hmm. When they put the flake in it?
With the flake in? Oh, come on.
I can't imagine there's not like American equivalents to all of those rappers that you just pulled up. No?
Rebecca, don't they have shit chocolate in America? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm alienating the podcast.
I'm with you.
I know.
No, I'm with you.
Stuff is so much better. I lived on this shit as a kid. My teeth, no wonder the Battle of the Veneers episode was on recently, because my teeth were destroyed. What's your favorite chocolate, Anthony?
Man, right now, I would say between Rolos and a Carmelo.
I love a good Rolo.
Rolos and Carmelos.
Harrington, Brian, what's your favorite? And I'm surprised that, like, one of the best chocolates that you guys have out here, and it's made in America, even though I thought it would be by some Swiss chocolatier. I'm going to see if you guys bring it up. Go on, Harrington. What do you like?
You had it in your hand. The Crunchy has been my favorite since I was like 10 years old.
How are you the weirdest?
Dude, we used to go.
Can you get a Crunchy in America?
Yeah, you got to go to like World Market. You got to go to like European markets in America to get them. My mom used to get them.
Yeah,
like,
how many of those do you think are in Nebraska?
Yeah. Swinging by the no. But you can get
swing by the World Market.
Swing by the World Market. What's the British section, bro? You can get.
Looking for a Crunchy with my pinky up while I tell him that. I need a fucking Crunchy.
You saying in Omaha, Nebraska, you can't get a Crunchy? I mean, you can.
I'm gonna find one.
You can hunt, you can fish, and all your macho bullshit. but you can't get a crunchy, let alone a fucking Yorkie.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking look it up right now. While you're telling me what you guys are.
Brian, favorite chocolate?
Toblerone. I only eat them around Christmas, and they're awesome.
They are good. They are. Every time I go through an airport, I'm like, I want to buy one of those giant ones. How do you pronounce? I think it's Giardelli or Giardelli squares.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, they're good. I'll give you that.
There's a large assortment of those.
I also mess with the Ferrero Rochers and the Lindt truffles around Christmas. Brian brought that
Lints.
up. Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I do love. I'm very intrigued though to see if we can get a crunchy in Omaha, Nebraska.
I'm gonna have a crunchy ready for Monday. I'll order them and have them shipped here. I don't give a shit.
Brilliant. Anyway, side topic. We like to blend in a bit of non-MMA nonsense here and there before we continue with the analytics. Paddy the Baddy, he's a star. Simple as that. Dana announced at the post-fight press conference, which I'm very excited about, that they're going to come back to the UK later this year. Wasn't on the plan. I'm sure that's because of the dominance of a lot of the British fighters on Saturday night. Tom being obviously close to fighting for a belt sometime soon, and then Paddy being the megastar that he is. If you're running a business, you got to capitalize on that. COVID restrictions are done here. It makes total sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. And damn it, I want to come next time. Next time the UFC goes to the UK, either I'm fighting on it or
you're coming.
Working it. Either way, I'm coming.
We're doing BYM on the road.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll just get Zach in a headlock.
Yeah, it was like, listen, on, we're both coming. We're both going to the UK. That got weird.
They'd be like, on your face. How's that wrong? Jesus Christ, sorry, Zach. Great guy, by the way. Head of production, shout out. Go on.
Do you know the Queen? Could we do it from Buckingham Palace?
I could have a word with my people.
Well, all you British people know each other, right?
Yeah. My people are non-existent. Do you know what was annoying for me as well? I've got this suitcase, which for some reason is getting bigger and bigger, more and more full by the day, right? As I'm going into LAX, as I'm walking in at the start of the trip, and as I said, I've been in a different hotel every 2 days because we moved around the place, right? As I'm going into LAX, one of the fucking wheels of the suitcase snaps off. So now I've got a thing that won't roll and it's heavy as fuck. And on top of that, I just look like a peasant. Do you know what I mean? They're like, this is the suitcase that he has.
People are shooing you. They're like, get out of here, peasant.
Yeah. They're like,
ass suitcase.
Look at him.
They're like giving you $5 at a time.
You're literally on every MMA show known to man. Stop being so tight and buy a new suitcase. I'm like, it happened on the way here. Okay. Anyway. What else on the main card? Harrington, Brian, Anthony. What do you think? What are the talking points?
Molly McCann on the main card, or she? Prelim. God,
main card.
Damn! What a fucking elbow!
What a fucking maniac!
Listening to Paddy like narrate it as it happened on the post show was so funny though. He said, "Send her to the shadow realm." Is what he.
Is that what he said? I didn't see
funny. That. Yeah, especially in his accent, it was just really funny. But yeah, they were in a fucking fight though. I mean, they were getting after. She looked like she was going to get her out of there pretty quick at the beginning of that fight, but
that's how she fights.
Yeah, I don't remember that girl's name now, but
Luana Carolina.
Yeah, that Brazilian girl. She came, she pulled herself back into it and made it a little bit of a fight. And goddamn, what a nasty! She eyed that spinning elbow for a couple seconds before she spun too. It was like her eyes lit up and she was just ready to hit a home run.
That's what you got to love about Molly. Because
how long was she down for? How long was she out for?
Oh,
because the camera wouldn't go back and pan to her and show her again.
It was a while. And they don't like to do that, obviously, because it heightens or it gives the critics ammunition. You know what I mean?
Well, her eyes, the way her eyes looked when, like on the like the TV screen, it was like all the way rolled back in her head, but her her eyelids were wide open.
Well, same thing, and we're skipping around here, but with Jai Herbert as well. And we'll get to that one in a minute. Same thing. He got knocked out bad, and he's fucking awesome. We'll touch on him in a second. But same thing. I remember going in to do the interview, and I was looking at him, and I tried to give him a little wink and a little a little show of support. You know what I mean? That's unlucky brother type of thing. But yeah, I don't think he was quite with it. Have you been knocked out like that, Anthony?
Not like that. I've been knocked out one time, but. No, it wasn't like stiff, out of this world kind of knockout. I got slumped though.
Yeah, you don't know where you are.
Yeah,
let me ask you Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look.
You used it on the walkout, which is fine.
No.
But you
Look at her watch it. Look at her look at it. Boom.
Because it goes right
Look at her
through
eyes.
the jaw. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't done
Yeah.
there. It was through.
Yeah.
No, almost took her head off. Yeah. Let's just talk about this real quick and then you tell your stories or see if you agree. But whenever I've been knocked out, and sadly, I have been knocked out, unconscious, asleep for a little bit, more than once. And see, you're trying to not laugh. It's all right. We've all seen UFC 100. Edit that bit out, Brian.
When you're trying not to laugh, you just go.
Let me see. And then Gastelum, I had no point taking that fight, but I got clipped in that one. That wasn't as bad, but even still, I went through the same thing. You refuse, like it's weird because your brain's been scrambled and you're trying to piece it together and you have no idea what's fucking happened. You know, and I remember after the Gastelum one, I spoke about the Henderson one a lot. I was like, you're trying to pretend that it's fine and that nothing matters. Like, yeah, it's good, it's good. But inside you also don't know what the hell is happening. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm here, but because of my ego, because I still know who I am. I still know what's going on. I still know how to fight, but I'm like, I can't really piece it together. But I'm trying to downplay it all so it doesn't seem as serious or it doesn't seem as embarrassing. The reality is you just got knocked out in front of the world. Everyone saw it. Be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm good. Rather than going, bro, what is happening? I have no idea where we are. It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, I had the same feeling. Again, I wasn't super stiff or like that Carolina girl, but I got dropped like a sack of potatoes and went down and my whole body was limp and he was still teeing off on me. So
was that Santos?
No, this was in 2011.
Oh, that was a body shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, Santos was the body shot. This one was his name was Adlon Amagov. He's some dude from Chechnya, some Russian guy.
Tough guys
in Strikeforce. And he hit me with one of those no lookers. You know, he just looked away, pulled a punch out of his back pocket, and just swung an overhand. I walked right into it. And I remember waking up, and I kind of did the same thing. Like, he cut me real bad, like all around my mouthpiece from the punch, and like my mouthpiece was coming through the hole a little bit.
Ooh,
it was nasty.
Doesn't sound good.
No, it wasn't good. So I sat up and looked around, and I remember telling someone one time, like, if you have to ask what happened, you probably got knocked out. So I remember I almost said, what? Oh, yeah. So I just looked around. Everyone's like, are you okay? And I just kept saying, yeah, I'm fine. But my last memory, I was just thrashing him. Like I was, you know what I mean? Felt like I was winning the striking exchanges. And that's the last thing I remember. So I was like, well, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
So then I go back. I'm like, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember any of that.
That's it. That's the worst bit because you literally don't know what happened until you see it back and it's like, oh God, I can't watch this. It's horrible. Have you watched that back? Do you watch it back?
Oh yeah, sometimes I'll like bring it up on my phone or something. If someone ever asks me, I have the video. Brian has the. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, what? Hey, no,
go ahead.
Fair,
no, we should watch it. I don't mind. I don't mind.
You laughed at me. Let's laugh at you.
Look how young I am.
Where are you? Is it you red or blue?
I'm blue. Watch this. I go to throwback big. Ooh. No looker. Whoop.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're heavy ones as well.
Yeah.
God damn.
He beat off on me.
You had hair back then.
I did. Yeah. That was in 2011.
When did the hair leave?
Well, it started to go shortly after I met my wife. At least that's what I tell people.
The stress.
But I started cutting it. Like, it's a little too long now, but I started cutting it real short, probably, I don't know, 4 years ago.
Let's get back to these fights because there's a lot to talk about. Molly McCann, by the way, we went off on a tangent there. Yeah, she was sensational. She fights like that every time. She's such a... She's entertaining. She's a wild one. She was octagon side for Paddy's fight. She was dancing away in her stuff. She was down in a bottle of Howler Head. You know, she was going to be a handful later that day. Evening. I guarantee that. Jai Herbert, Ilia Topuria. Looked like Jai had him out of there in the first round. I mean, he dropped him hard. He was just too much for him on the feet. Can never underestimate your opponent. Can't get cocky. And Topuria, still undefeated. That's for a reason. Went to the body, over the top with the right hand. He did that in his fight against Damon Jackson. Exact same combination. Holy shit.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Jai Herbert because he looks so good up until that point. That's always the worst ones when
He is.
something happens. God, that head kick was so fast. What a nasty counter. Just the way he stepped back.
Yeah.
Boom.
He's so
nasty.
technical. He's
He
so
is.
technical. He's so good. He needs to round things out with the grappling and the jiu-jitsu, and he knows that, and he's working on that all the time. But you don't be a specialist in one area like that. All the other things are trying to catch up. And it looked great, and that would have been a huge win for him. And of course, I'm not biased, but I do support my countrymen as well. Do you know what I mean? And
I'm not from the UK, and I'm a big fan of him. Because he is so technical, and I just like watching him fight. He's just exciting, and it sucks when you see someone at the beginning of the fight. One guy's clearly better than the other one, and then they do really well, and that other guy kind of hangs out a little bit longer than you expected him to. And then the good, the guy that you're like, oh, that guy's good, and then he gets caught like this. Oh, man.
And then look at the way he folded.
That body shot just brings his hands down, turns his body. Whew,
and fair play to Topuria. That was a classy move because he saw how badly he went down, and he looked at him for a second. He's like, nah, I don't need to follow up. You're done. Yeah. You're done. You'll be back, Jai. All right, guys, I want to tell you about chalk.com. If you're looking for a testosterone boost, because guess what? As you get older, it does start to fall. Actually, men's testosterone levels generally now are at an all-time low, and the average T levels are half of what they used to be in the 1970s, and T levels also decline 1% per year, which is crazy when you think about it. But when you get to my age, you get to your age, when you start getting older, you start getting a few gray hairs, guess what? The testosterone goes down. It gets harder to lose weight. The libido drops, and you just don't have that same energy. So, having a natural way, which is important, the natural way to kind of boost that and combat that is very, very, it's very welcome if you ask me. Chalk Daily is the cleanest research-based testosterone booster available. The main ingredient is purified shilajit, which comes from the Himalayan mountains, and it translates to the destroyer of weakness, or the destroyer of limp dick, as it's known in certain circles. Shilajit offers 40 different minerals. However, unlike many other products on the market, chalk contains exceptionally low levels of heavy metals and a bunch of other stuff that you don't want in your system, okay? Listen, this stuff is all natural. It works, which is the best thing. Chalk has another product as well, which is Tonkat 100, which is clinically studied to boost free testosterone levels by 87% in just 21 days. And an all-natural water purified 100-to-1 extra. Very powerful stuff. Listen, do yourself a favor. If you're feeling like you're missing a beat, if you're not quite as up for battle as you used to be, if you can't lose weight, it's probably because your levels are dropping. Go to chalk.com, CHOQ.com. Use the promo code Bisping. Why? Well, you're going to get 50% off. It's a pretty remarkable deal. It's a great product. It comes from the Himalayan fucking mountains. Come on, that alone. You want to buy this shit. It's great. You're going to have hard on for days. CHOQ.com, chalk.com. Going to get you 50% off when you use the code Bisping. So better yourself with Chalk. Where were we? Prelims were crazy. We're going to get to this one now. Paul Craig. Right.
Paul Craig.
But can we talk about this? Americans say Paul Craig. Karen Bryan says Paul Craig. Or she'll say, hey, Mike, welcome to the post-fight show. So let's talk about Paul Craig. John Anik says Paul Craig, right? Or they'll roll the tongue if they're talking about that Latino fighter. It's like, I don't have that accent. I'm not rolling my tongue. Paul Craig says Paul Craig because he's fucking talking in a Scottish accent, mate. Do you know what I mean?
But if he could say it like us, he'd say Craig.
He'd say Craig. Do you know what I mean? He's Craig. But anyway, side note, tangents down, gone off there. Right. Listen, he has proved everybody wrong, including myself, what he's achieved in the UFC, the win over Jamal Hill, the wins over Shogun, right? Oh, save it. We'll get into it. He can't wait. He can't wait. And I get it. He called you out. I totally get it. And he's looked kind of one-dimensional, but however, the striking's dramatically improved, and he shocked me when he went out there and did that to Shogun. I guess you could say he's a throwback fighter because he relies on his jiu-jitsu so heavily, which, by the way, I'm not surprised, managed to pull out a submission over Ankalaev at the last second, which we didn't get to talk about last week. He just had a big win, and he's like a dominant fighter in the division. And again, Saturday night, it wasn't looking good because he was getting fucking teed off on heavy shots. I was like, get the fuck up, Paul Craig. Get up. Don't do that. Abandon ship. right now because Nikita Krylov is going to knock you unconscious. But there it is. The man believes in his jiu-jitsu so much.
Brian, run that back one more time.
And it was done.
Stop it at the beginning. Stop right here. That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my whole life.
From Krylov?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Back?
He's almost caught you twice already in a triangle at this point. Your hand should never leave next to his ears. Yeah. Ever.
No.
Sorry. Thanks, Brian.
No. Oh, bicep control. You're right.
Damn, he finishes it fast too. I mean, credit to him. That's a slick ass triangle. He had it right away. This is done a long time ago.
Yeah, because he's technical with his jiu-jitsu. So
super technical.
He wasn't disrespectful towards you, but he called you out. Of course, the floor is yours, Mr. Anthony Smith.
He has several times. He's called me out several times. Excuse me. Always very respectful about it. And in the media, because we're in the media, we don't fall for all the clickbait bullshit and all the other stuff that happens with some of the media members to get people to read their articles or at least click into them. So, one of the media members asked him in the post-fight press conference, well, you weren't super impressed with Anthony Smith's jiu-jitsu. You weren't as impressed as we were. How do you feel about this? And he goes on to say that, gives me a lot of credit, says that he wants to be in this, he wants this fight because he wants a fight that kind of gives him that fear a little bit. And which I take as a compliment, to be that guy. Then he goes on to say that something about all the top 10 guys have, they're well-rounded, blah, 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 but that I'm not as hungry as him to get the submission. But the headline doesn't say that. It says, Paul Craig
never does.
It says Paul Craig says Anthony Smith isn't hungry. So I click on it, mattered fuck. All right, here it is right here. We got it here? Brian?
Getting closer to that top 5, and I think a fight against Anthony Smith, who's actually in the top 5, could be that. If you look at the division, there's quite a lot of people that are already matched up. The top 4 people are roughly looking to fight each other. So there's an opportunity for me. I have beaten Ankalaev, I've beaten Jamal Hill, who are in the top 10. So I'm not looking to run that fight back unless the two of them have got a strap round their waist. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for a new opponent, I'm looking for a new drive, and I'm looking for somebody that's going to bring out the best in me, who puts that fear in me. That fear that gets you up at 6:30 in the morning to do the hard work, rather than lying in bed and being like, it's fine. He's not in the top 15, so I'll not really work that hard.
People will be listening.
That'll do. That's, again, very respectful, Anthony.
Yeah. And then goes on to say that he feels like he's hungrier to get the submission than I am, because he'll put himself in a bad position to try to catch someone in a submission. And I totally agree. I am less hungry for damage than Paul Craig is.
Hey,
I like the guy.
That.
He's never been disrespectful to me. I have nothing but great things to say about him. I could listen to his interviews forever. He has a great mind for the sport. But I will beat Paul Craig's fucking ass. And that's totally competitive. That's not personal. I like him a lot.
He's great.
He
he's
seems like a really
honestly
great guy. Everyone that I know that knows him, any mutual friend we have, has nothing but great things to say. If that's the fight the UFC wants, I'm about it. Plus, I would like to go to Glasgow. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know if they're doing it.
Maybe when we go to England later in the year, you're fighting in England.
That would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. But I do think
get a podcast in now.
Yeah, we would. Fuck yeah, we would.
Fucking right. I love this guy, Anthony Smith. Go ahead.
I just think stylistically, I'm a nightmare matchup for Paul Craig. I think my jiu-jitsu is better. I would love to, go out, touch gloves, and we just both sit on our butts and just go at it. You know what I mean? We'll just have a jiu-jitsu fight right here in the middle of the octagon. But I don't think the UFC would love that. But striking wise, I think we both know. Paul Craig knows that that's just not where he's going to be successful. Wrestling, I don't know. I'm not. Sometimes I show up as a wrestler, and sometimes I don't. So who knows? But I think jiu-jitsu would be a fun fight. He just catches people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does.
He's opportunistic, and I'm more of a position over submission type of guy. Like I kind of set things up and force people to make decisions, and then capitalize on that decision. He sees something. Goddamn, he locks shit up fast, so fast.
He is. He's been a guest on this a few times. Great guy. I always love talking to him, and he is a class act. You know, he's a class act. He's a gentleman. He's a hard worker. You know, he's got balls. I would love to see that fight. If you accept, do you accept? Is it an official? I mean, of course, you know, whether or not the UFC want to make that fight.
100%, 100%, 100%. I think I'm ranked higher than he is, but I think he deserves it. You know, he's got to win over Uncle Life. He's got to win over Jamal Hill. He's been around a while. You know, I like his style. And honestly, as stupid as it sounds, it means something to me that I like him. Like that he's a good guy. He's fairly respectful. He's had his beefs a little bit with Jamal Hill. They kind of jog back and forth. He's intense. But seemingly he's a family guy. He loves his kids. You know, like I feel like I could drink beer with him, win or lose afterwards. That means something to me, at least at this point in my career. Like if I'm going to be giving out opportunities to lower ranked guys, Paul Craig's the guy.
Hey, beautifully said. Beautifully said. And I'm sure he would respect that as well. And if I'm the UFC, I made that fight. However, my name is not Dana White, Mick Maynard, or Sean Shelby. They're like, Bisping, shut the fuck up. Just go and try and host the Waynes, you know, voice, non-talking motherfucker, son of a bitch. What's that line of New Jack? You remember the movie New Jack City? Just drive the car, you non-talking son of a bitch. Remember that line at the start? I don't know why I thought of that. All right.
Oh, anyways, we got to talk about this part, though.
We got to. No. Are we going to get Paul Craig on the show?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to him on the show?
Fuck yeah, that'd be fun.
Next week, then we'll try and line it up.
That'd be great. Next week. If we
Paul's
get a contract signed in the meantime, that'd be fun. But
this would certainly help.
What's going to happen with the UK fans, though? That's the problem. Because now, like, I feel like I'm an honorary
Brit.
Yeah, I think I think I need to have like my honorary passport. They need to give me my citizenship in the UK.
You can like McDonald's and Burger King, dude.
They're both American garbage.
Just saying.
But they're gonna like Paul Craig more than me, and then I'm gonna feel betrayed.
Yeah, but you're winning them over. Brian said people were on the verge of suicide for us not doing a show last week. You know, and I told you this is now becoming Anthony Smith's podcast. We're featuring Michael Bisping on occasion. You know, Brian, don't come on and smile and grin.
No, that's
like
real.
A Cheshire cat.
No, that's real. We got. I was getting when the show's future was in question.
Hold on, what's real? People were trying to kill themselves, or is the Anthony Smith podcast?
I was getting literal suicide notes.
Clarify that.
Clarify.
Hey, Mike. Your name's still on all the things.
My name's not on shit. This is Michael Bisping's podcast. I'm just fortunate to be here.
No, we're working on that, by the way. We're working on all the artworks. All going to change. We've got merchandise coming out. Wait and fucking see.
I got literal suicide notes in my Instagram DMs when the future of the show was in question for that month.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's
a problem.
We appreciate the passion and the support. But if this podcast is what you're basically being the decider on whether or not you live or die, talk to someone. do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. Use promo code BELIEVE.
Boom. 10% off your first month, baby. All right. Harrington, come on. You haven't had a presence. We didn't have a show last week. Let's rip the living death out of Harrington for a minute. What have you been doing, Harrington?
I mean, obviously just getting crumbs on my shirt in the interim. I did, just real quick to run back to something. With the Arnold Allen thing, I just wanted to ask you guys this. Like, this guy who was on an 8-fight win streak.
This is what he does. We've moved on. We've had a good conversation. But you're taking it back. It's okay.
I wait patiently for the host of this show to have a discussion, and then when I get called on, I bring up my point. I was going to ask, though, like somebody like that who, like I said, 8 fights in a row, winning streak coming into this, do you think that was part of it? Like, I need this statement win. I need a knockout to go with this winning streak to put myself in the contender sphere.
Well, there was a few things for that because he's only fought once a year for the last several years. If you look at his record, I think 16, 17, 18, 19, I'm not sure if it's that extreme, but it has been something like that. And when you only fight once a year, it's hard to make traction, you know? And then on top of that, when you're on an 8-fight win streak and you maybe feel like you're getting a little overlooked, but simply because of COVID, geographically where he lives, and he's gone through a lot of decisions, you know, he wasn't getting overlooked. But there's pieces of the puzzle that start to fall in place. So that, as a fighter, Anthony, I'm sure you can agree, might start to make you angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, I fucking deserve more attention. I deserve to be respected a little bit more. And he took that out on Dan Hooker. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't know if I could even add too much more to that. I think Michael's 100% correct. It's just if he fought 3 times a year or 2 times a year, even if he was able to fight stateside, if he's, throw him on a, the featured prelim on a big pay-per-view in Vegas, I think Arnold Allen is in a different place. Sometimes
I gotta say this. Sorry, Anthony. I gotta say he has done that because I know in the comments I'm like, he has. He fought Gilbert Melendez and he fought
right, but it's been a while.
A while ago, though.
That's the problem. It happens
3-4 years ago.
Right, it happens one time. He gets a little bit of traction, and then we don't see him for another fucking year. Like that's the problem. If he could do that consistently, at least twice a year, I think that looks a little bit different. Also, even this card. He's not going to get as much love from this one as if, and again, I'm not hating on the UK events, but the timing of them during the day, not even just the time of the year or whatever. The main card started at 3:00 in the afternoon, my time. So like that, it's tough to get people in America tuned in and their parties together and whatever. At 3:00 in the afternoon, everyone's ready for the 9 p.m. pay-per-views or the 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. fights in Central Time Zone. So those kind of performances, if we can get him on a prime time slot in America, I think changes a lot.
And the problem is as well is that when he fights in the US, those fights are on at 5:00 in the morning in the UK.
In the UK,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's very, very tricky, and that's always been kind of the difficulty. And don't get me wrong, mixed martial arts. The UFC is a popular sport out here in America, sorry, in the UK, pardon me. I know that for a fact, simply because my friends that didn't give a shit about UFC or MMA, I now see them talking about it on Facebook on a Monday morning. You know what I mean? And that is a small gauge, but it's this weird way to gauge it. But I know that
some of that is credit to you.
Like whatever. But it's still got a long way to go. Until it catches up to America. And that's because of that. It's because there's not as, there's the occasional event here in the UK. Whereas in the States, every weekend, it's on at, fucking mid-afternoon alongside ESPN, NBA, NFL, the list goes on. It's a proper sport on ESPN. In the UK, it still gets overlooked. You might have saw it on my Instagram. I did TalkSport, which is a big radio station out here.
I was just going to bring that up.
Last Monday. And this guy, Simon Jordan, who's a respected football, he owns one of the Premier League teams. And, he basically just said he doesn't like it. It's too violent and blah, 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 blah. But that's an example of we still have a way to go until it gets the recognition it deserves. And I know I'm going off on a tangent here from Arnold Allen, but still, there you go.
Well, I think that it does kind of, excuse me, it's all those beers.
Yeah.
I think that does tie into Arnold Allen just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that there's more people, I think, that maybe we realize with that kind of mentality, maybe in the UK. And that's why I don't want the people in the UK or in England to think that I'm like, oh, well, he's got to leave England to be popular. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's just more popular, maybe other places and a little more mainstream. And so he's not getting as much of that as maybe some of the other guys, with his same skill set and abilities, have gotten in the past. I thought you did a great job, sticking up for the sport, though. I thought that didn't get enough. Of course, that's not fun and sexy for the media to report on. But I thought that should have got a lot more love. I felt like he was kind of, and he seemed very respectful about it.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Seems like him versus MMA, and like you were kind of the I don't know, the protector, and I thought that some guys wouldn't have. I feel like some guys wouldn't have done as good of a job of maybe trying to explain it and put it in a good context. I thought you did a good job.
Thank you very much. I've done that for so long, though. When I first signed with the UFC, I would spend. I'm going out to London almost every week and sit in a fancy, swanky hotel, and journalist after journalist would come in, and I'd sit down and talk to them, and they would ask questions like, "So can you bring weapons in?" and things like that. I was like, "Oh my God, no, you can't." But anyway, Harrington, show yourself if you can, because they're just going to make fun of you for a minute.
Okay.
Crumbs. I haven't looked at them, and I haven't. And I know I say that sometimes, but secretly I have. I haven't. Right? He threw a few non-MMA stories in there. Let's just see what Harrington goes with. Because, we're going to go back to the MMA, but we like to blend it up. We like to mix it up. We like to keep the laughs coming, the stupidity, and then go into hardcore analysis. But what have you got?
All
Please.
right. I got this one. This one, actually, it's almost your neck of the woods, Anthony, I think. I don't know geography that well. But Wyoming has unveiled a new app where you can claim roadkill that you hit with your car. You're now legally allowed to take home and eat said roadkill as long as you register it, with the government. Do you think this is like a good idea?
That's a great idea.
Yeah?
That's okay. Now, first of all, when you say roadkill, I think people's brains immediately go to like raccoons and possums and whatever, like small little creatures. If you're driving down the road and you clip like a big ass deer, we're talking like a 12-point buck, and you clip it with your car and it goes down and it dies. I don't know why you couldn't just hit that thing on your little app and be like, if you were hunting, you would shoot a person to be able to shoot that deer. You know what I mean? Like that's I'm just saying.
When I hear roadkill, I just think of anything that died from a car in the road.
See,
and I would also think
roadkill. I think
you can walk past the camera, babe. Don't worry. My wife's trying to get ready for bed. I'm like, just fucking walk by in your underwear. It's fine. They don't care. She's dressed, by the way. No. But why do you need a law, Harrington and Anthony, to tell you that you've already murdered or killed the animal? It's passed away. It's dead. You might as well eat it.
Because if you pick it up, like if you take a deer, like say I hit a deer with my truck,
that's illegal.
And no, that's fine. But if I throw it in the back of my truck and then I'm driving with it to my
illegal.
House and I get pulled over, yes, then it would look like I was poaching outside of the hunting season. But if you can take a picture and like register and say, hey, I hit this deer. I don't want it to go to waste. This is a fine specimen. Why let it waste on the side of the road? I just hit it. Let me take it and go deal with it, and I'll eat the goddamn thing without. Like, if you get caught poaching, I think that's a felony.
Well, call me stupid, but if you hit a fucking deer, and I'm trying to swear less, but I struggle. If you hit a fucking deer, that's going to make a mess of your car. You're going to have blood splattered all over it. I don't think you need to take a picture. And how the hell do you pick up a deer? I mean, throw it in the back of the Razor and just fucking drive home. And I know Wyoming don't fucking talk an Australian accent, but I don't know why I'm doing one. But you know what I mean? What a weird, it's like, look, officer, there's blood all over my car. Right. I killed that animal. I might as well eat it. Get a nice bit of, what is it, venison?
Venison. It's good shit.
Venison.
Yeah.
Venison, baby.
Sometimes I'll shoot just one deer and I'll make the entire thing into jerky. And then I'll give it as presents and shit at Christmas.
You're a real man.
Dude, I'll take it and have it made into
kill
jerky.
A deer.
Oh, I've done that a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
And this is because Lucas.
But I would never kill anything that I wouldn't eat.
No, sorry, he will do it. And we've had this conversation, but if I had a fucking beautiful little Bambi in my sights and it's just it's nibbling away and there's butterflies in the background.
What are they fucking eating?
Eat grass. It's like, and it does this. It's like, you can hear it. There's a snap, a twig. It's me crawling up. Got him in my fucking sights, mate. And then he's there, and his ears go up like that, and it looks. And I've got it there in the cross sights, and I'm like, I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. Couldn't do it. I wish I could. I mean, I could. I used to kill 500 cows a day as a slaughterman. I could.
That's way worse.
It is, but
Anyways,
so you fucking murdered it. You killed a whole deer and turned it into jerky. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking good too. I've had neighbors. It'd be like 10 o'clock at night, and I'll just hear the little, like, what the fuck is that? Something's like someone's at the door. One of my neighbors will be like, "Hey, you got any more of that jerky?"
I would not eat that jerky.
Oh, it's so good.
How do you? All right. I want to know this process real quick. Right? How do you kill a deer in the woods and turn that into jerky? Like
it's really easy.
Skinning it, the inside, the guts, the intestines, the
Okay,
heart.
I'll make it really quick.
Go.
Shoot the deer, and I either depend on where it's at, but anyways, I get to the deer and I field dress it. So I have to remove the organs from the deer as fast as I can. The quicker I get to it, the faster I can do that, the better. You want to bring the body temperature of the animal down as quick as you can, so that there's not, you don't lose any of the meat or it rots or what, because that process starts right away. As soon as an animal or any mammal dies, that process starts right away. So
What's it called?
Decay.
Makes it all go stiff.
Well, no, I'm not too worried about that.
Rigor mortis.
Yeah, that happens fairly fast too. But you just don't want to lose any of the meat. You went through all these hardships and problems to get this animal and all the bullshit you have to do to get it. You don't want to lose any of the meat by it spoiling too quick. So if it's snowy outside, you'll stuff a bunch of snow in the body cavity just to get it as cool as you can, as fast as you can. So you get all of that stuff out as quick as you can. And
You're
then
doing this in the snow. Again, I was like, this guy's a real man. And I'm like, he's double man. He's doing it in the fucking snow. In my mind,
always,
it's summer.
a lot of times,
It's
but
summer,
not
but
always.
you got the earmuffs on.
No, the deer season is real cold.
Do you have a
Nebraska.
little flask? You have a little flask? What is it? Coffee, whiskey, hot chocolate? What are we talking?
It depends on what time of day it is.
Okay, sorry, go back to the process. My
But
apologies.
anyways, you once I do that, my job is essentially done. Like a lot of people, a lot of hunters here will process the entire animal themselves. I don't. I have like friends of my family own a locker, like a cold storage locker, and they do all the processing. So I just put it in my truck and I take it to them and they do it all.
I'm trying not to laugh. It sounds like your family's a bunch of fucking rednecks. That's what I was dying to say. I'm like, do I say that joke or not? Is he going to get offended? I'm sure.
No one's offended. It's the truth. 100%
Go on.
the truth.
Sorry.
That's it. And I just tell them what I want. Like if I want steaks or I want deer hamburger or I want whatever. And if I want the whole fucking thing jerky, I'll say, hey, just make it all into jerky. And that's what they do.
I remember I was at an airport and some guy came up to me and he gave me some jerky and he said, I made this myself from an animal that I hunted and blah, 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 blah. And he had it. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. As soon as he turned his back, I threw it in the trash. I'm like, if you think I'm eating that fucking jerky, that you've killed an animal, I don't know where this guy lives. I don't know the conditions. I don't know if it's rotten meat or what. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you couldn't pay me to eat
I wouldn't take
that
any
fucking
food
jerky.
from a stranger. Yeah, I wouldn't take any food from a stranger. But
anyway,
next time I get some, I'll cold ship it to you. It's good. You'll like it.
No, I can't wait to try it.
And
All
you
right,
send back candy bars.
And we're gonna do that trip. We are. Today we are welcoming back Ipvanish Vpn to the show. You know the deal. Ipvanish has been a long-time sponsor of ours, so it's so great to have them back. And let me tell you about Ipvanish. If you care about the security of your online activity, and you really should, the easiest way to protect yourself is with Ipvanish VPN. Rated 4 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, Ipvanish provides an encrypted connection for all of your internet traffic, helping to prevent websites, Wi-Fi providers, or even hackers from intercepting your data. You know, we're talking all your financial details, personal information, online activity is completely safe from threats with Ipvanish. Okay, you're not going to get hacked. You're not going to have people logging into your bank account, people hacking your Instagram, your social media, and all that stuff, and changing your passwords and blackmailing you. Believe me, that stuff goes on. Okay, Ipvanish eradicates all of that. And also, if you're in other countries, you can maybe access certain pornographic websites. What do I know? But still, get started. If you're in Abu Dhabi, trust me, it's going to come in handy. Get started with this limited time offer and save 50% off your monthly and annual subscriptions by going to ipvanish.com/believe. 50% off, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, that is ipvanish.com/believe. And that's all lowercase, by the way. Okay, where were we? All right, Harrington, come on, mate. To get us back on track here. What are we missing out? What big storylines? We've been going for a while. It's late here in the UK, so it's not going to be the longest show today. Apologies, everybody, but, you know, it is midnight almost, and my wife's getting ready for bed. You know, I'm still on the road. We're squeezing it in. What are we missing?
Well, I think the biggest story is Conor McGregor announced who he'd like for his next opponent. It's usually pretty big news, I think. He says he went up, 145, knocked out the champion, went up to 155 and knocked out the champion. Now he wants to go up to 170, knock out Kamaru Usman, and become the first ever Triple Crown UFC champion.
What did Anthony say before? You said it's that delusional mindset.
Believe in yourself. Yeah.
I mean, you can't conceive, believe, and achieve. That will take you so far. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry. You can conceive knocking out Kamaru Usman. You can believe knocking out Kamaru Usman, but you are not going to achieve it. I am sorry, and I am not being a hater.
I predict these things.
Well, predict away. Predict away, my friend. Anthony, what do you say?
I say the same thing you said. That's just not. It's. I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder if Conor says shit for likes and clicks and to stay relevant and just get his name in the media. Again, this isn't the shit on Conor moment, but like, come on, dude. I mean, it's unlikely. I don't even know what to say. I'm stuttering over here. I don't know.
I think the reason is because they're talking. Dana even said the potential for him fighting Oliveira, just come back and fight for the belt, is there, right? Mm-hmm. And we talked about this already, so I won't go into it. That could be a possibility, but the reality is I don't think he's going to make 155 anytime soon. Of course, he broke his leg
right now.
And he's bulked up because all he can do is, listen, he's been an athlete his entire life. Been in the MMA game for a long, long time, but he can't do that now. So he's been lifting weights. He's been trying to stay active, and he's bulked the fuck up, and he's been eating and lifting, and he's got bigger. He ain't making 155 anytime soon. So he's like, fuck it. If I'm going to fight at 170, then give me an immediate title shot. Maybe he is doing what you say, just saying things for the sake of it, staying in the media because it gets clicks, it keeps him relevant, keeps everybody talking about him. He'll always be relevant anyway. But
I'd
if
like to
he
see him in
is
person
serious,
because he looks big as shit. But he's looked big before, and then
he's very small.
Is he not as big as he looks in his pictures? His pictures make him
I don't know. I haven't seen him recently, but I'm just saying the regular Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he's not very big. Yeah,
no,
I've trained with him before.
He's a very feeble man.
A long time ago, but he wasn't big. And he was at 45 then.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't say I didn't even train with him. I was just there. You know what I mean? At the same time.
Hey, listen. God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, that would make history. It would. I
just wonder if the pictures make him, if he's posting good angles or make him look bigger than he actually is.
Yeah, because you can never get context. Like on TV, 125ers, 35ers, you know what I mean? They look fucking gigantic. And the more ripped you are, the bigger you look. Right. Mickey Rourke told me that tip. He said, Michael, the more ripped you are, the bigger you'll look on camera. I'm like, are you calling me fat, Mickey? You cheeky bastard. That's a very creative way. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Dana would make that fight. However, it would fucking sell. It would sell a bolo. Sure. I think Usman would take it in a heartbeat. I know one thing you can say about Conor, love him or hate him, the guy's got balls. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he would, without question, step in there against him if the UFC would do it. And you never know, because I think that would be up there with Khabib versus McGregor style numbers. That would just be absolutely huge.
If I was Usman, I'd have my manager blowing the UFC up to just
Ali Abdelaziz on the phone every day.
Yeah, every day. Call his bluff if that's what it is, or see if he's for real. Let's do it.
Yeah. What else we got, Harrington?
Well, another big fight booked and is official. Let me just look up the exact number card that it is. Chandler versus Ferguson is set for UFC 274 in May. Guys, got any early predictions on that one?
Go ahead.
I hate that Tony Ferguson's still fighting.
It's almost like Dan Hooker. It's not. It's worse. It's worse.
Way worse. Yeah.
No, but he needs. What I mean is that he needs to step back. Yeah. You know what I mean? But go ahead. Go ahead.
I just don't like watching Tony take that fight against Gaethje. Fucking Christ, that was hard to watch. Because I've been the biggest Tony Ferguson fan my whole career. It's just sometimes it seems like Tony got old overnight. Like it just seemed like one day he just wasn't the same Tony. But who knows? He's been off for a long time. So maybe, let his body heal up. Maybe he's reinvigorated. He says the right things. Stylistically, that's a nightmare matchup, though, for Tony. It's a tough matchup. So, but who knows? Chandler's had a tendency to be a little inconsistent. So, he kind of showed up in the Gaethje fight, was able to take a bunch of damage. His conditioning was there. Fight of the year candidate. But then sometimes Chandler doesn't show up. And he'll have an off round and then finished by Oliveira, kind of with punches. So I don't know. I think where they are in the division, ranking wise, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That fight has to happen as long as Tony's still fighting. But
I echo everything you said. Tony Ferguson's a warrior, right?
Yeah.
I could spend 10 minutes right here talking about what a brave guy he is and how exciting his fights have been and all the rest of it. But there's no need. We all know this. Nobody, if you are a fan of MMA, you don't need me to sit here and go on about how fucking great he is and what a great service he's given to this sport, the great memories and all the rest, because we know every time he fights, it's fucking must-see TV.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem. You can't fight like that forever. That comes at a price. And generally what he would do, because the first rounds were never fun for Tony Ferguson. He'd always have to go through that fire. He would always weather the storm, and not that he's not technical, because it's sounding like I'm saying that, but I'm not saying that. But he would often take a lot of damage, and then he would turn it around. He would weather the storm and then finish them. He would make it so exciting. But when you have that kind of style, eventually it's going to catch up with you. You cannot. The idea is to hit and not get hit. And people love the fighters like Tony Ferguson or even a Michael Chandler or Justin Gagey that go out and take fucking damage and are absolute warriors. And we love that. And the sport was built on people like that. However, everything has a sell-by date, an expiration date, and eventually it's going to catch up. And I do believe that maybe that time might have come for Tony Ferguson. However, when you look at the losses, Charles Oliveira, current champion, Justin Gagey, fighting for the belt, and who was the other one? The other one was a good one. Who was it? Beneil Dariush. So when you look at those, it's like, oh, well, hold on a minute.
It's the best guys in the world.
They're the best guys in the world. There's no shame in losing to any of them. However, it's the way that he lost. And it's like the decline that we saw throughout them and the amount of blows to the head that he's taken.
The Gaethje fight was awful. The way his head was snapping back, like God damn. And that's the problem with those type of fighters. It seemingly happens overnight. Like one fight,
it does.
He's a goddamn monster. He's the same Tony we all love. And then he fights Justin Gaethje, and that guy's just not there anymore. And then he just had an off night. And then he fights Oliveira,
but
still not there.
He's willing to step in there and sign contractually to fight Dan Hooker. I mean, how can you not respect that man? Do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. Who out there is on a 3-fight? And again, it goes back to the Dan Hooker situation. Again, all respect in the world. You've lost 3 in a row to the best people in the world. One of them being the champ, one being the number 1 contender, and one being a potential number 1 contender in waiting. Right? The best people in the world. And now you're going to take on Michael Chandler, right? Fuck me. I mean, the guy's got balls of steel, but don't do that. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to fight for the belt anytime soon. But that is the landscape, though, because you're right, as you said before, you're only as good as your last fight. He goes out there, beats a Michael Chandler, all of a sudden,
he's right back in the
conversation.
And then people pull this clip up of us talking right now and talk about how we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Of course, and that happens in MMA.
And that happens,
and that's what makes it such an amazing sport, because you can't. Yeah. There's no guarantees. There's.
I'm just giving you my opinion, but I honestly don't know. He might show up.
I'm open,
and we might be right. And it's just his ticket has been clicked too many times. Or Michael Chandler has the worst day of his life, or maybe Michael Chandler just has has an average night, and Tony is back to where he always was.
What was the last fight? Was Gagey, right? Or was it Dariush? Dariush. Yeah. Hey, listen, regardless, I wish him the best. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
Really
me too.
do.
Love Tony.
Harrington, come on.
What am I doing? Why am I getting clicking noises at me? What's up?
Like a little doggy. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
All right. So I have 2 things here, right? I think these are 2, equally interesting topics. One involves Kevin Holland. The other one involves Logan Paul. You tell me.
We'll do the Logan Paul. I know what it is. I did see this one, and it's surprising.
So Logan Paul or Dana White went on Logan Paul's podcast, and he said, Logan asked him straight up, Dana, sign me. Like, sign me right now. And Dana was very cagey and simply said, I'm not going to say no, which is a very different tune than he had just a couple of years ago. Do you guys think one of the Paul brothers fights in the UFC? And if so, who do you want to see him fight?
I'll say this. If CM Punk can get signed to the UFC, and, it was an experiment, and they thought they'd give him a try, but if that can happen, if that can happen, anything can happen. And listen, you can hate on the Logan brothers all you want. Is it Logan? Oh, the Paul brothers, pardon me. I always do this. But they're working, they're training. I don't hate on them. I don't. The only thing I hate on with Jake Paul is the opponents. You know what I mean? They're tailor-made to him, and it's kind of discrediting MMA. He's fighting people past the sell-by date that are smaller, that are tailor-made stylistic opponents. Other than that, God bless them both. They're making tremendous amounts of money. They're killing it on fucking YouTube. They're fucking massive celebrities. The younger generations absolutely love them. And Dana knows this. Dana's a smart man, and it is a business. And if he's doing massive numbers on pay-per-view, ups and downs from what you hear. But if he is, why wouldn't you say, fuck it, you want to fight and you're going to bring tons of people over? Yeah, sure. Let's give it a shot. And if you lose, off you pop.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've been sticking, as much as I can't stand those idiots, just their personalities and kind of how they've not only have they taken fights with some of the older generation stylistic, favorable matchups, then they shit on them too. And I don't like that at all. Like, you want to fight Tyron Woodley once or whatever, but don't piss all over him and shit on him. And, as big of an idiot as Ben Askren is at times, the dude's a legend in the wrestling game. He's multiple years, several years undefeated, multiple time world champion. Like, that guy deserves a little bit of respect.
He does.
Definitely from someone not from our sport. So, that's really my biggest criticism. I've always said I think those guys work hard. I think that they're respectful of the art. I think that they bust their asses. Seemingly, they respect their coaches. They seem like they're good teammates, making shit tons of money. At some points, they're dipping it off to some other people too that need it. I've never been critical of that. I'd love to see if Logan Paul wants to fight in the UFC. The only thing that would be better than that is if you're the champion in your division and you're defending the title, because that'd be great for pay-per-view sales.
Oh, that would be huge. But yeah, I mean, listen, I might have said this before, so apologies to believers if I have, but there's no prerequisite in combat sports that you need to come from some disadvantaged background or some adversity in your life. Those guys haven't, right? They've got it made. They're rich, they're famous, they're young, and they're choosing, well, Jake especially, Logan's, doing exhibitions, whatever. Jake especially, they're choosing to fight for a living, and they're putting the work in. They're doing training camps in Costa Rica, and tailor-made matchup, past his sell-by date, whatever. He knocked out Tyron Woodley flat on his face. That's not easy to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, Tyron's past his best days, but still, so I do give him that respect. And if they want to fight in the UFC, I'll be honest, I can't sit here and say I wouldn't watch. I would be
I would watch.
Very intrigued. Sure. I would for sure watch that.
It only makes it better if you get to be the one to fight him.
I know. They offered. He sent me a contract. Well, not sent me an offer through my manager, a while ago, maybe 2 years ago or something, but never transpired. All right. Okay. My wife, she's still with me. She hasn't left me. She's been trapped with me though for 10 days. Normally we have a little, time in between. So if I want it to stay that way, we're going to have to wrap this one up pretty quick because it's late out here in the UK.
Well, let's get out of here.
Brian, we got questions. By the way,
we got some
everybody,
questions, right?
If you have a question you want to send them into bympod@gmail.com. We do love the fan interaction. Do us a favor, go out there, tell all your friends to subscribe, like, leave comments on the YouTube page as well. It helps the algorithm share it and pump it out to more people. I know all about the YouTube business these days. Harrington, you also have a significant number of sentences to add to these plugs.
Well, I just want to let people know that if you want to catch over 300 episodes of this podcast you can't find anywhere else, head on over to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use the promo code BYM, and get yourself a 7-day free trial. Check out over 25 great shows on the network.
Okay. Brian McKay's right. At B McKay is right on Instagram. At DM Harrington. At Anthony Lionheart Smith or Lionheart Smith?
Lionheart A. Smith.
Oh, God. Shame on me.
Fancy, man.
Ding.
That's okay.
I apologize.
We got any good questions, Brian?
We got two questions.
Okay.
One
people are mad at us.
Yeah. Well, nobody's yelling in the questions, so we got that
Good.
going for us.
Like that.
So here's one from Doug Ladanza.
Good old Doug.
Hey guys, big fan of the show. My question is, who do you guys think is the greatest UFC fighter of all time to never win the belt? I'm either between Florian and Faber, but I think I lean towards Uriah Faber. Let me know what you think. Thanks.
Well, Kenny Florian's a bloody good suggestion.
Yeah, that's a good
He's
one.
a guy that
I'm
doesn't
trying to
get the
think of.
recognition.
I'm trying to think of one that he didn't mention.
Harrington and Brian, feel free to chime in here as well.
Maybe
What do we
Benavidez.
think? Oh, Benavidez is up there for sure.
Yeah,
I did a
that's a
video
good
on this
one.
on YouTube. I did the top 10. I should know
Did you?
this. I did.
Yeah.
Top
Was he on
10
your? Was
fighters.
Benavidez on your list?
Benavidez was on there. Kenny Florian
Kenny
was on
Florian's
there.
a good
You
one.
talk. I'm going to just bring up the list. Hold on.
Yeah, Kenny Florian's a really, really good one. That's Alexander Gustafson's a pretty good one. He was real close.
Oh,
a couple times.
Gustafson. I think I had him at
Gustafson.
number 2 on my list.
Yeah,
Because remember that
Gustafson's-
fight with John Jones and DC?
And DC, the DC one was real close too.
Would you guys put Faber on that list because he won gold outside, or is this strictly UFC?
I was thinking
Okay.
strictly UFC, but
Anthony,
Faber-
what do you think of that? UFC rope in the fucking WEC attributes, titles, all that stuff. I
Yeah.
want Cage Warriors belt, Cage Rage belt. That doesn't
Mhm.
get, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, no, it doesn't count.
yeah, I don't know. I would still put him on the list as like because he had a couple.
Oh,
title
no,
shots. He
Faber's
was
on the
good.
list. That's not
Yeah,
what
he's
I'm
on the
saying.
list.
I'm saying
But like
about-
roping in yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
I used to call, and by the way, I'm not talking shit about Uriah Faber. We said this publicly back in the day because I think he had 5 title shots, you know,
Mhm.
which is a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
title shots.
a lot.
So I used to call him Uriah Faber. Today, because I was only jealous. That's all. I was trying to get a title fight on my own. I'm like, fucking
Yeah.
hell, Uriah
thought-
Faber and the Munchkin squad. Fucking hell, they got title fights coming out the fucking ears. When can I get one? They had a laugh at it. Didn't give me a title fight though. Fair play.
What
Brian
about
said
Faber's
Yoel.
one though?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
about
Brian said
Yoel?
Yoel.
He's
That's-
genetically built by some Cuban scientists, and he still couldn't get it done.
Well, he had a couple
When
of title
I-
shots too, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
he
a
did.
bunch.
Yeah,
He had a few, like 4, I
Mhm.
think.
3 for
Missed
sure.
weight
that I
for
can
2
think
of them.
Yeah.
Joe
Um,
Rogan was telling me a story when I was on his podcast. He said that when they were in Australia or something, or wherever they were, one of the doctors said, "Where did you find this guy?" And they said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, even the tendons in his eyeballs are like 3 times, and I'm butchering this, I'm sure, but it's
Right.
the general gist is there. He said even the tendons in his eyeballs are like 3 times the size and strength of a normal person's eyeballs. And Rogan was like, and he was talking about what Brian said there. What did you say, Brian?
That he was built by Cuban scientists.
Jesus.
That's what Rogan was alluding to. And I'm like, I can't go down this rabbit hole because it's just going to sound like I am hating to the max. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who else was on your list? You got one more?
What about the Diaz brothers?
Yeah,
Oh.
no, you're right. Nick and Nate. Oh,
Game
who
Bread.
else?
He should be on that
I
list
think
too.
that-
I mean, he's still active, but
Who? Nate?
Gamebred won that fake belt.
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say Masvidal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on the Diaz brothers. I don't know if either one of them have ever been super close to winning a title. Like, I never felt like GSP was ever in trouble when he was in there with Nick. You know,
No.
Nate Diaz had a title shot and it wasn't super competitive.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
super popular. Love them guys. Huge fan. I'm a Diaz mark. But
I'm going to say Kenny Flo. I'm going to go with Ken Flo, just simply
I'd say
because
Kenny.
he's a buddy of mine. And I shout out Kenny Flory, haven't spoken to him for a while. Used to work with him all the time at Fox, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then when that deal died, it's like he forgot about me.
Yeah, I think Kenny
He
Florian's
doesn't
a good one.
text. He doesn't write. He just ignores me. I'm sad. Harrington.
I was gonna say somebody you guys have spent some time talking about. He did win an interim title. I don't know if you count that, but Tony
Doesn't matter.
Ferguson. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Number one
Says a guy
contender
that
belt.
held the real title.
Oh.
A guy that never held the real title would be like, that probably counts.
No, of course they would. And I would agree with them to the face. I'd be like, Rebecca, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. You
God
weren't
bless him.
undisputed, you piece of shit.
Fucking interim. I won't be seen dead with an interim title. What are you talking about? Come on, Brian. Last one. Let's go.
All right, we got a question here from a Mr. Jordan McDonald. Bam.
All right, quick question for everybody. When you got your big millions coming to the bank, right? Your big check coming, you know you're rich forever. What was the most regretful and the most just craziest thing you brought when you become rich? You know, also, whenever you're in Birmingham, in England, and we can go to the gyms and weightlifting or something. And Harrington, thank you so much for sharing my levitating that pull down video on Instagram. I really appreciate that.
Nice. Did you understand what he said there, Anthony?
The fuck did he say?
I was thinking that because he has a heavy accent.
Heavy.
He's got like
I think
he
said when we made money, what was the most ridiculous thing that we
like when you started but basically let's put it into a normal question. When you were financially stable and you were making good money and like your biggest checks or whatever it was, what's the biggest thing you splurged on?
Oh, nothing too crazy.
Same.
About a house. Yeah, about a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a lot of stupid shit for sure.
Well, yeah, give me the stupidest.
If it wasn't for my wife, I'd have a. Did I ever tell you the story when I tried to buy 2 camels?
Oh my God! Why have you not said this earlier? No,
I've never told you the story.
Told me the story about when you fucking bought.
I tried to buy. I tried
2 camels. 2 camels.
So I have
one.
2.
Two
well,
camels.
It was cheaper if you got 2. So
there's a lot of crazy shit going on in Omaha, Nebraska.
So I have a brother. I have an older brother, significantly older, that lives in Houston, Texas. So my brother sends me a text one time, and it's a picture of a camel, but I can tell that this camel is like near his house. And he said, "Hey, I got this neighbor getting rid of these camels. You trying to get a camel?" And I said, "Well, how much are these camels?" Right? And so he gives me the price of the camels, but he gives me one price for 1 camel, and then it's cheaper if I get 2. So he'll cut me a deal.
Know the price, Anthony. I need to know the going rate of a camel in Omaha, Nebraska.
It wasn't that expensive. Like, it's not as expensive as you're thinking. Like, I feel like it was like $3,500 for 1, or I could get 2
for 5.
I think I could get 2 for it was like 2 for 6. I think it was like $1,000.
A little discount. That would not encourage me to buy 2 camels. That's it. That.
I'm telling you, you don't know my purchases very well. So anyway,
well, I have 2 humps when I can have 4.
Right. So I'm trying to. So I think this is a great idea. I start doing this research. Like, how do you take care of a camel? Like, what is it? What goes into this camel business? Turns out camels are essentially long neck cattle. I already have cows, so I already know what goes into that. So
you have cows?
Yeah.
Real man. Again, continue.
Yeah. Got donkeys too.
How? Whoa. No wonder you see when you say it. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is a remarkable story. But when you're saying you want to buy camels, I'm like, you're crazy. But now it turns out you have what you're describing to be a farm. So that doesn't sound crazy.
Like
you have donkeys. Yeah. You have cows.
I have a place for camels.
Right. So you wanted to add some camels. Right. But if I was saying I was going to buy 2 camels on the crazy. That's mental because I got nowhere to put them. But you have set place to keep such animals.
I just thought camels had to be in like a desert place or somewhere that's really hot. Turns out it's not the case. They adjust really well to the cold. They're easy to feed. They're like, you can train them, like you can walk them around. So my idea was like, listen, in the summertime, how fucking cool would it be just to roll up to the house with this camel and start giving camel rides around the neighborhood? I thought it'd be cool. I don't know what else you do with a camel, but I just thought it would be cool to have a couple camels. My wife thought I was the biggest fucking idiot on planet Earth. We fought about it for like 2 weeks because I thought she was just joking.
Because you wanted those camels bad.
I wanted them bad. I wanted them really bad. And
why wouldn't you?
Like, yeah, right. And the stupid part is, I try to get these camels, and it was a point of contention in my household for a couple of weeks. So I said, you know what, fuck it. We're not getting no goddamn camels. It's not worth fighting over anymore. She's the one who ended up with the donkey. So like, I didn't want the donkey. Called?
What's his name?
There's 2 of them, Eleanor and Oliver.
Oh, she's got 2 donkeys, but you can't have 2 camels.
And
that's
one of them's
bullshit,
pregnant,
Anthony.
and that's what that's hers.
Oh, and now they're fucking reproducing. They're having sex.
But
you're breeding camels in Omaha, Nebraska.
I can't have 1 fucking camel, but she gets donkeys. It's bullshit. It's a one-sided relationship. This is one-sided over here.
Hold on. You need to go through just so I know what I'm dealing with here. right? I'm scraping. I'm having to extrapolate all this information. You know what I mean? It's painstaking, the process that I'm going through. You're making a fool out of me here. Tell me what animals we have on the Smith farm.
So it's not, the whole thing's not, anyways, it's a lot of details to it, but there's horses that are not mine. Then there's donkeys, which are partially mine. And then there's cows. That's it right now.
Right. Donkeys, cows,
donkeys,
horses.
cows, horses.
You must have a few little chickens.
Oh, fuck no. There's a fuck ton of
around.
chickens out there. There's a fuck ton of chickens out there. Dogs.
You're living the life.
There's a bunch of dogs out there.
You're a real man.
Yeah.
You're a real fucking country boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God. And your family are rednecks. They're trying to sell you fucking camels. My brother.
Shit. I told you.
Does not really call me very often, but when he does, it's not to sell me fucking camels.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, you stayed away from, I mean, you're married anyway, but you're the type of guy that my wife wants. You know what I mean? She wishes she was with a real man, a guy that had a farm, a house, a camel, a donkey, chickens, all the rest.
That's why we built this friendship, Michael Bisping.
I have an alcohol problem
teach you the way.
And a dwindling
fan
base.
Your alcohol problem's not going to get any better here. I'll tell you that.
And a bank account that's dwindling. Do you know what I mean? We're getting divorced pretty soon. You know what I mean? When she hears that guys like you have farmsteads and all that type of stuff, I'm
going to teach you the way. We're going to be riding razors. We're going hunting. We're gonna go out and we're gonna handle the livestock. You're gonna snatch an egg from a chicken. You're gonna get drunk on Bush Light.
Drink milk right out of the cow.
Yeah, no more of that swanky ass wine shit. We're going straight to Bush Light.
I can't come down to Nebraska like this.
No.
Like this with my fucking
lots of chocolate. You'll fit in real well with your.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You gotta get your pinkies up. You gotta get your pinkies up here.
Oh shit! Oh God, I can't wait.
You need to go.
Right.
You need to get some sleep, Mr. Bisping.
Well, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I missed it. That was great, Anthony. Always a pleasure. Brian, Harrington, you guys are great. Anthony, anything to sign off on?
No. Glad to be back. We're rolling again.
There it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends, leave a comment. Take care, and we'll be back with a new show pretty soon. Adios.